Hey, if you lead any kind of ministry team, ushers, worship, media, anything, you know it can be a real challenge to turn a bunch of volunteers into, well, a thriving community. So today, we're going to break down a really powerful model designed to do just that. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with a big, important question. I want you to really think about your team. Are they just a group of individuals who show up, do a job, and then head home? Or is there something deeper going on, something that connects them? This question, it really gets to the very heart of what we're talking about today: how to transform a task-oriented group into a true family on a mission. The solution we're going to explore is called the task group model. And honestly, the name says it all. TASK is an acronym for Together Actively Serving King Jesus. You see, it's about so much more than just checking off a to-do list. It's about serving, it's about growing, and it's about building real, genuine fellowship while you get the work. Okay, but for this model to really work, it all starts with a change in perspective, specifically your perspective as a leader. It's all about changing how you see your team and the ministry you're doing together. This is the big why behind the whole task group idea. So here's the core shift right here. The old way of thinking, it's all about task performance. The big question is, did we get the job done? But the task group model, it totally flips the script. The goal becomes spiritual formation. The question changes to, are my people growing closer to God and to each other through the work they're doing? This is so crucial. You're not just managing workers, you're actually discipling people who serve. All right, so how do we actually put this new mindset into practice? Well, it all starts with a shared foundation. We're going to call this the what. These are the 4 core commitments that every single person on the team can rally around. This is what drives their purpose. And we're just focusing on 4. Why only 4? Because simplicity is key. You want them to be memorable and something you can actually do. These aren't just a list of rules. They become the very identity of your team. Let's check out the first one. First, and this one is the most important, we serve King Jesus together. This one little sentence reframes everything. Setting up chairs, running a soundboard, greeting people at the door. Suddenly, it's not just a task anymore. It's an act of worship. This reminds everyone why they're even there in the first place. Second, we use our gifts for God's glory. This is all about putting the right people in the right places. When people get to serve in areas where they're actually gifted, they don't just do a better job. They feel more alive, more fulfilled, knowing they're using the unique abilities God gave them. Number 3, we work as a team. Come on, ministry is not a solo sport, right? This commitment creates this atmosphere of cooperation and unity. It's about putting the team's goals way ahead of any personal preferences and learning to submit to one another for the good of the whole mission. And the 4th core commitment, this one really brings it all home. We grow in character as we serve. See, this is that mindset shift in action. The ministry itself becomes this laboratory for spiritual growth, where every challenge is an opportunity to develop more patience, more humility, more grace. This is the real goal. Okay, so now let's build on that foundation. Beyond that core purpose, there are 4 growth commitments that guide how the team actually functions day to day. You can kind of think of these as the team's operating system. And yep, you guessed it, we're focusing on another memorable set of 4. So if the first 4 were all about our purpose, these next 4 are all about the team's culture. These are the commitments that really shape how your team interacts and grows together, day in and day out. The first growth commitment is so simple, but it is so profound. We care for one another. This means your ministry team isn't just a place to serve, it's a place to be known, to be supported. It's about building genuine friendships and going out of your way to encourage each other. Next up is a really practical one. We practice faithful stewardship. This is all about excellence in the little things, being on time, coming prepared, respecting the schedule. All of that communicates that you value the ministry and you value the other people on your team. It's about being someone others can count on. The third growth commitment is huge. It's we represent Christ in our service. The way the team serves, with a smile, with humility, with a loving attitude, that is a powerful, powerful witness to everybody else. It's a constant reminder that how we do the work matters just as much as what we do. And finally, a commitment that's always looking to the future, we multiply workers. A healthy team isn't some exclusive club. No way. It's constantly on the lookout for ways to train others and raise up that next generation of leaders.
The goal isn't just to keep the ministry going, but to see it grow and expand. Okay, so we've got the why. That's the big mindset shift. And we've got the what. Those are the 8 commitments. Now, for the most practical part of all, the how. How do you actually build this kind of culture? Well, it all comes down to one simple, repeatable rhythm. And here it is. It is not complicated at all. Every once in a while, you just gather your team outside of your normal service time to do these 3 simple things: eat, share, and pray. Eating together, that just builds warmth and trust. Sharing gives people a chance for real, honest conversation and encouragement. And praying together, that aligns everyone with God's purpose and His power. It really is that simple. Now, don't just breeze past this. Look at the outcome of that simple rhythm. It helps build life-giving and loving relationships. That right there is the secret sauce. The community you build outside of the task is what fuels the unity and the passion you have when you're performing the task. It's a game changer.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've covered the mindset shift, the 8 different commitments, and that super practical rhythm. But where do you actually start? What's the one thing you should focus on as a leader to get this ball rolling?
So here it is. Here's your takeaway question. This isn't about trying to implement all 8 commitments tomorrow. That's overwhelming. It's about starting with connection. So what is the one rhythm, eating, sharing, or praying, that you will start with your team this week? The journey from being just a group of workers to becoming a family on a mission, it can start with one single simple step. What's yours going to be?